Hey everyone, how's it going? Jamie here from More Games, and I wanted to try something new this week. This is again another bonus video. Like I mentioned in one of my other videos before, I am on summer break, so I am able to focus more on YouTube to provide better content for you all. And so I wanted to try a reaction video. I haven't done one, and so I thought it would be fun to try. And of course, I went with one of my favorite content creators and streamers, Zepla, and so she just posted a video on how she ended up clearing the Alexander Ultimate Raid. So I thought it'd be fun to do that. Let's go ahead and let's jump in.
Hey Buns, so today I wanted to talk about my biggest gaming achievement ever. Yes, this week I managed to actually clear the Epic of Alexander Ultimate. What a journey this has been. I cannot believe
looks
that
so
actually
happy.
happened. It took about 70 hours of prog, I would say, maybe a little more. And it has definitely been the most intense, most fun experience I've had in a game, and it was equally terrifying and fun. Like both of those things at the same time. They say the part of your brain that processes being excited also processes being anxious, and it was very much that's where I thrive. Like that's where I find the most enjoyment is when I'm like also afraid a little bit.
Yeah.
Like that's the thrill-seeking behavior that I do.
I totally understand what she's saying. There's several times where I was in raids and things like that, and I was scared to be in there, and just the anxiety of am I going to do this right? Am I dying? And then all of a sudden you see the clear screen, and then it's just an amazing feeling. 70 hours though that is a lot. That is kind of typical. I mean, I don't have the time to raid anymore. Maybe now in the summer I have a couple more weeks before I have to get back to work. So maybe I might try doing some sort of raid. But let's jump back and let's see what else she has to say.
I mean, this was the first expansion where I cleared every savage fight, so I was maybe more prepared this time. But we went in, and it helped that there were 3 people in my group who did clear before. So we had some people that were more experienced, and I think that did help a lot. I'm just sort of kicking myself right now for telling myself that I would hate Ultimate, that this was going to be... Like, here's how I had built up Ultimate in my mind, right? I had told myself, this is going to be taking up so much of your time.
Yeah.
And this is going to prevent you from having any fun at all. And you are not going to be able to even, like, do a good stream. Like, you're not even going to be able to pay attention to the chat. You're not going to be able to talk about anything. This is going to consume you mind, body, and soul, and nothing else will exist outside of this.
Yeah.
And you're going to be trapped in this arena for, like, who knows how long, and it's going to be so punishing, and you might make a mistake because you don't have a very good attention span. Like, I had built up all of this crap.
Well, hey, and you know what? I can see where other streamers might struggle there. But she's got such a loyal fan base. She built such an amazing culture in her community to where if she doesn't need to respond to the chat. I know she likes to, and that is kind of like streamer 101, where you need to have that interaction. But I feel like her fans are very forgiving. Her fans are very supportive. And I'm pretty sure she could have done that whole thing without even saying a word or interacting with us. But I mean, and we still would have been there and supported her anyways, because we just want to see her succeed and complete this. And it is kind of taxing raids like these or ultimates. I have not done ultimate raids at all, and specifically it's just for the same reason that she has mentioned. It is very taxing. It is very time consuming. It's going to take the fun away from the game. My real life job is already very stressful, and so I wouldn't want to tack the stress of Final Fantasy, because Final Fantasy is where I go to escape from the stress of my real life. It's supposed to be where I go and I have fun. But I totally understand what she's saying, because I mean, even if it is really taxing, that reward afterwards would probably be worth it. Let's see what else she has to say.
For myself, like, of all these, like, honestly, things that were ended up not being true at all. But I noticed that even after a couple of raid nights, 2 or 3 raid nights, just getting through the first part, I realized this is actually pretty fun. I like doing this. It's a good time. I can tell you that I thoroughly enjoyed the journey. The journey has been just as fun. as the achievement of actually
Yeah.
clearing the fight. Oh my god. Oh
Is
my
this
god, oh my god.
this is when she does it?
Oh my god. I need to get in the
Oh yeah, look. Look how nervous she is.
Everyone's in it. I'm in this one. I'm in this one. We got it.
Look,
Oh my god.
pure bliss. See, that's worth that reward.
Oh my god. I will be posting the VOD of the clear here on YouTube. I don't know if it's going to be out before or after this video goes up, but I definitely was not playing my best in this video. Like, I wouldn't necessarily copy what I'm doing in the video because there was so much panic. Like, I'm trying to keep my cool in the video. I'm like trying to seem like I'm calm and cool and collected, but internally I'm just like Another thing, you might also, if you watch the VOD, you might also find it a little weird that our group did not have callouts. I don't really know how this happened. I think that it is not normal for us to have so few callouts throughout the fight, but I guess in the case of Ultimate, it is more or less understandable. Yeah, you might hear some callouts in the final phase because you really need them there. Like, it's going to be much harder if you don't have the callouts for like things like stillness, where your character has to be completely still.
Yeah, so here, callouts are crucial, very important. I need them as a player, even if I'm doing like a primal raid fight, if it's something like that. I need callouts. Now, if it's something that I've done like hundreds and hundreds of times, then I mean I really don't need callouts for like Garuda or Titan when I can just go in there by myself and knock it out. But I mean, I think even now with Ruby Weapon, I will forget every now and then, and so well, I guess okay, Ruby Weapon might not be like the best example, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. It's callouts are crucial.
No
and helpful
animations at all. Like, you have to react to that very quickly, or motion, which is the opposite. You got to be like bouncing around or you'll die. So we needed callouts for those things, but you might find it odd that we didn't have callouts for the majority of the fight. And what I wanted to say was that in Ultimate, it kind of makes sense because each player has so much personal responsibility at every minute of the fight. Like, at pretty much every second of the fight, if one player makes a slightly wrong move, it can mean a wipe for the whole group.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the things that made progging through this so punishing and so difficult, because the further you get into the fight and you need to practice like the final phase, you still have to have really solid consistency on the previous phases to actually make it to the final phase, to practice that final phase. And that's when it starts to get really, really frustrating and really just like mentally taxing. There's a lot of mental stamina that you need to make it through these very long pulls, because I think the fight in its entirety is about 19 minutes long, something like that. 18 or 19 minutes long.
Well, hey, I mean, 19 minutes long it's long in the modern sense of MMORPGs, right? But as a raid or a type of fight, it is still kind of small compared to what old MMOs used to be like, where fights would last like 3 hours. But yeah, let's see what else she has to say.
And so because of that, it's like you start to get a little comfortable on the previous phases, and then they just kick you in the ass, and it feels terrible to be like, you're trying to learn phase 4 and here you are dying on phase 1, you know. And then you get more frustrated, get more tired, and it's like, we definitely did have nights where it felt like we were just not getting anywhere at all. I'm really fortunate that I had such a supportive and chill group to do this fight with, because I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much. I don't think that I would have been able to like remain calm enough to maintain my focus during the fight if everyone in the group had not been so chill and so nice and so patient, because there were definitely nights where I was like responsible for the majority of wipes that we had.
Hey, and you know what? She brought up a good point too about having chill and patient groups. In Final Fantasy, I found that, you know, this is a very patient community. But I mean, I've been playing for a long time. I've been playing since I always say 1.0, even though I took like a couple of steps, but really I've been playing since The Realm Reborn. And even then, I don't even think I did the coils right away. I just kind of waited. I was really intimidated by messing up and being the one that would, cause the group to wipe. Now, of course, it was a PlayStation 3, so I wouldn't recommend any sort of rating or primals under the PlayStation 3. But I think I did clear it afterwards, and even then, I just kind of stayed away from, uh, raids in general. Up until maybe about Stormblood, that's when I decided, you know what, I'm gonna. That's already when my FC kind of broke up, and I had to switch servers, and so I started being a little bit more active and just trying to find my spot in this new server. And so I kind of partook in raids. I started the Savage raids, and it wasn't as bad because I was in good groups. But then, life happens, and so I had to step away from the video game from Final Fantasy for a while. And I have been meaning to jump into them. I do the regular raids, but I have not jumped into Savage. I do plan on doing that again, getting back into Savages. But like I said, life kind of happens. But I agree with her. A group is very important.
There were nights when I just made the same stupid mistakes over and over. Like on Limit Cut, there were times when like I got the 3 marker on my head, and there's a specific spot where you need to stop. And I would just keep going past it, and I'd be like, oh no, and like kill everybody. That happened a lot. Other side.
Uh,
Too far. Here.
What? What?
Oh,
But none of these times did the group get
Alexander
upset with
Raid
me
has the best
that
music,
they-
by the way.
One thing that I saw a lot of WoW players comment on, people that were watching my stream, was that, oh, it's so nice, like how quickly you can recover from a wipe. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's easier to not get super tilted when somebody wipes the group, because after a wipe, you're just like, okay, we're back at it. You jump right back into the fight. You don't have to like run back all the way from the start. You don't have to like, oh, now we all have our food is gone. We have to put the food table back up. You don't have to worry about any of that. It's like, oh, we wiped. Okay, let's start over. For me, I think the most
Rating did get better
terrifying
in
mechanic
Final
of the
Fantasy.
fight was Wormhole. And I was streaming it, and I remember I had a number where all I had to do was I noticed I have number 3. Okay, so I go to the spot. I wait for Brute Justice to jump on my head. I press arm's length, and then I like move ahead a little bit towards the wall.
Oh, and they all wiped. Her face.
Oh, I should have been looking out. And like, someone in the stream chat was like, "Oh, that's it. You just move towards the wall. It looks like a really simple mechanic." And I guess it does, but it just there's a lot of precision there and a lot of nuance that you don't see. But even me saying it out loud, it seems like that it couldn't be easier. There's nothing easier than that. Why is Wormhole so terrifying and so difficult? Well, it's because, let me try to explain. I mean, you could get any number. You might not always get 3, and the different numbers can make you do different things. And maybe it's just that you're like so far ahead in the fight that there is a lot of pressure. And so the further you get in the fight, the more scary it is to make a huge mistake and ruin everyone's day.
And then you have to start all over from the beginning.
Maybe it's just like that mechanic wouldn't be so scary if it was in phase 1, right? But it's really scary because it's phase 3, near the end of phase 3. If you're thinking about getting into Ultimate, you should clear the current Savage tier first. Like, that's step 1. And not just clear it, but do your best to perform to the best of your ability. And look at your local data center Discord for people that are recruiting there. You might want to just look in as many places as possible and look everywhere. You know, I know the Reddit, Final Fantasy XIV subreddit Discord has recruitment channels too. So, I mean, the more places you look, the more chances that you're going to find what you're looking for.
I think recruiting now is just a lot easier. It got a lot easier, especially as the game has advanced and these new communities have been created, like Discord, Reddit, things like that. It is a lot easier now to get and organize groups. Even things like on Facebook groups, there's been times where I would just shout it out, hey, anyone interested in starting a learning party? Even if you start Savage now towards the end, you can still find a party that is willing to learn the mechanics at even for the first Savage set of raids. So it is really easy to get out there if you are interested in something like that. I definitely suggest you do it. It can be fun and rewarding, and just don't feel intimidated like I have and like she was. Just go out there and just try it.
I think now is a really good time to get into Ultimate because we're waiting for Endwalker, and well, first you'll need to clear the Savage tier if you haven't done that, so that should keep you kind of busy for some time. And we have the new Ultimate raid coming in 6.1, so that's the Dragon Song War Ultimate that we're all looking forward to. That is coming in the first major patch after Endwalker drops, and so you will be ready for that then. Like now that I've cleared T, I have been setting my sights on like what's the next ultimate I want to do. Like I honestly, one of the main reasons I decided to do T in spite of my reservations was because I wanted the weapon. The weapon looks amazing. I finally got my dancer weapon. It looks really good. It's awesome. But now that I've got my weapon, I want to do more ultimates just for the experience because I had so much fun clearing T, and I'm looking forward to clearing it again to get more weapons. Like the Dragoon weapon looks really nice. Next one I go for will probably be Uwu, and Ukaba I'll save for last. By far the most epic, insane, adrenaline rush, crazy like high. I'm still feeling like I'm on this high from clearing.
She still has the glow,
and I hope that more people will give it a try. I noticed that not very many people have cleared this fight, and that's a shame. I think more people are capable of it than they realize. You just need patience. You just need to go in with the right attitude. I hope you like this video. It's just a quick chat about my experiences with.
I mean that was very cool. I'm so happy that she got that clear. You know, they were fun streams to watch. You know, if you haven't checked it out, I believe she still has them up. You can go and watch them retroactively. You know, I want to see. She's got 22 dislikes for some reason. 22 dislikes. I mean, it was just a wonderful, great experience for her. I think that is so cool. But that's it for today's video. Thank y'all so much. If y'all could just do me a huge favor and smash that like button, and if you have not already subscribed, go ahead and do so. I stream every Tuesdays on YouTube, and it will be Final Fantasy, and every once in a while I will throw in Phantasy Star Online too. If you'd like to see more reaction videos like this, let me know in the comments below. If you think this is not good for the channel, let me know. You know, this is our community that we're setting up, so it's whatever you would like to see. Just go ahead and let me know, and I can get started working on that. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye, y'all.